Ooh. Do I have the right microphone?
I don't know.
First time I've ever done this.
It says we are alive. That's good news. Live. Maybe it says live. Okay.
HD webcam.
Tasty? Okay. Tasty webcam? Is that what you said?
Tasty webcam.
Is that your OnlyFans account?
Yeah.
Well, hi, everybody.
It's not my OnlyFans. It's my only fan. There's only
your
one.
Only fan account?
I got one subscriber to my OnlyFans.
It's my only friend account. We just text every couple of weeks.
It's my only friend. All right.
Oh, hey, what episode are we on?
We are live. Everything's Late, Nobody Dies, episode 59.
Lucky.
After
59.
A very long hiatus.
We're like Saga. We should be on episode 123 by now.
We're going to wrap all this up in 326 episodes over the next 24 years.
Okay, great. I'm not going to live for that long.
You fired that one, didn't you?
Huh?
Because of that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And it's, I mean, the 6 on 6 off thing is supposed to be 6 on, 6 months on, 6 months off, right?
Right.
According to that schedule, the new Saga was supposed to have come out in January, and it still hasn't even been solicited. I would just like to know if it's canceled or not. Just tell me if it's canceled, and then I'll just deal with it.
At what point do you just assume that it's canceled? I mean,
well, I don't know. The last big break was 3 years. Oh, and we have a sponsor this week. Yeah, we have a sponsor. We're going to do sponsors now. We're sponsored by FedEx delivering my supplies when you absolutely positively have to get it at some point, but then they keep changing their mind about when it's going to be here. FedEx. Hi, Marvin.
Wow. So it's been a while.
It's been a little bit.
It's been a while.
Man, a lot of things going on, man.
Life getting in the way. Situations going on.
Yeah. A lot of stuff happening here.
And a lot of you know, I lost my father right after the first year, and that was a real tough one for me. So now I am an orphan. Hoping that somebody will take me in. I don't know.
I'll get you a curly red wig, and you can stay at my house for a little while.
Yeah, it's a hard knock life for sure.
Tell me,
but
Greggy Warbucks. I'll be your Greggy Warbucks.
I do appreciate. I know what your Warbucks is now. Thank you. I do appreciate all the people that message checking in. I do appreciate you guys. I've just been kind of trying to mellow the brain a bit. So, yeah. But we're back.
We are back.
We'll probably be doing this weekly again. We got a bunch of cool stuff coming up.
We got so much cool stuff. We got knee surgery.
Nice.
That's not cool at all.
So that's Greg was out at the skate park, and
yeah, that's what I was doing. I was out at the skate park, and I was like, "Wow, skate park!" And then I turned around and went, "Oh!" and fell down the damn stairs.
He was trying to get away. He was out at the skate park trying to chase down the ice cream truck in the parking lot.
Yeah. No, it actually hit some ice on the stairs. Hit air, man. Like that was 4 stairs up on the concrete stairs up here.
Oh, sweet.
And I hit air. I did not even hit any stairs on the way down. I went straight up and then down on that knee. My meniscus is ripped in half. Cartilage is broken.
Wow.
It is awful. It is not fun. And yeah, the painkillers are starting to wear off right now a little bit. So I might be a little pissy today.
Well, you've been going at it for a while. This happened a couple weeks ago.
This happened just a couple months ago.
Really? Not long.
It's just continually getting worse. But it locked and collapsed and did all that kind of stuff a few weeks ago. That's when it got really bad. Right. But I went in and had an MRI, magneto resonating information, I think that's what that stands for. And yeah, man, and going in Monday to see when the surgery is going to be. So I will be recovering from surgery on Saturday, March 30th, 2024 at 11 a.m.
Right.
Because we don't have anything to stand this up on, do I? There. Perfect.
We don't. You know what?
That's beautiful, man.
I was going to grab a copy of...
Hey, Beck. Special guest back. Off cam back.
Off cam back.
Will you grab the stand up there by our sign comic stand up there?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wow, I'm drawing a blank.
Thanks. Stay off camera. They will have to give you a new name.
Beck is actually a hand that works here, so
Yeah, just a hand.
just a hand.
Only a hand. Yeah. Ba-da-da-dum. Yeah. So Saturday, March 30th, we are doing a fundraiser for our friend Tim Odland, who has he's had cancer for a while. Now we're trying to raise some money for him because, you know, as anybody that has any experience with this knows, it is awful. It's expensive. It is, you know, soul crushing and you know, and it
Right.
is awful stuff. And so we're going to have a whole bunch of people here. And, you know, first, the proceeds are going to go toward Tim, much like we did with Adrian.
Right.
So, you know, it's going to be, yes, Evan, Tim is the best. So we're going to have so many people here. Doug Wagner will be here. Sal Voluto will be here. He'll be actually doing portfolio reviews.
Right.
$25 donation to Tim, and Sal will review your portfolio. And this, you know, I mean, and this guy that Moon Knight and Phantom and Black Panther,
Right.
and like, you know, he's been in the business for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
One of the few people that got into the business in the 80s, or, you know, got big in the 80s and 90s, you know, and then really made it out of it and then kept going, you know, and made it out intact. Honestly, I mean, that sounds, you know, sounds like hyperbole, but it's true.
No, a lot of them did.
A lot of those people did
them
not
did
make it out.
Yeah.
That was a rough time. You know, there was a lot of crap going on in the comics world then. And, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of a lot of those people was almost like the wrestling world, you know, like I'm not a big wrestling fan, but, you know, I know these guys get into drugs, they get famous, they get rich, they're rock stars. And then all of a sudden, things go bad, you know, but no. Anyway, Sal's a good guy. He's going to come and do that. Adrian Rupp is going to be here. Chad Harden will be here. Bill Galvin, Mike Levins, Travis Romney, Jeff Shoup will be here. Andy Malin, Chris Hoffman will be here. Right. And some guy named Evan Black. It looks like, yeah. Evan will be here. You know, and these guys are all going to be doing this stuff and just donating their time and their work and everything like that to help Tim out, which is really a cool thing. And that's, you know, that's kind of stuff I love to see in the comic community. You know, you can get on Bleeding Cool and see people bitching and moaning about, you know, oh, his art, no, this sucks and that sucks and everything sucks and that movie sucks, you know, and all that, you know, and all that stuff is so easy to find.
Oh yeah, it's all over.
None, you know, and that's like, I feel like that's like, you know, if you look at anything political, anything, you know, artistic, movies, comics, anything, and that loud minority drowns out everybody else, man. And it's so easy to get sucked in to that and, you know, have that just hit you and just be like, man, I don't even like this anymore. You know, man, it's so easy to see that happen.
Right.
But if you look under all the BS and the garbage, you'll find a lot of stuff like this, you know, where creators get together to help each other and, you know, the community is actually a positive one.
Right.
So,
well, and I think for the most part, the comic book community is very positive. I think we get distracted.
It's a piece of shit. I hate it.
When the comic industry or any, I see this in games. I'm really big into the Dungeons and Dragons scene, but when any of these hobbies meet social media is where it kind of goes off.
Oh yeah, it goes south then.
I got a very, very good friend of mine that does the YouTubes, and he's much bigger than I am on YouTube. One of the biggest.
Taller?
He's much taller as well.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
One of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Very nice. Will do absolutely anything for a stranger. That type of person, right? And he told me, if you want to get more views, if you want to grow exponentially, you have to hook your audience with something dramatic and something negative.
Negativity.
And I tried doing that for a while. If you look back through some of our old episodes, you'll see thumbnails with kind of juicier titles and stuff like that. And it did start to help and bring some of those numbers up, especially on Twitch.
But you burn yourself out talking about it.
You kill yourself.
You know? Yeah. And like you burn yourself out talking about it. You start convincing yourself that the industry sucks. I mean, you know, you know, you start doing that, and all of a sudden you're not having fun with any of this anymore.
And there's a lot of things going on in comics that I don't agree with and I don't care for.
Sure.
And we can get to some of that in a minute. But for the most part, I mean, I picked up last week I was in, and it was the first time I'd been in for a while. And I picked up my books, and Batman, they're doing a new Joker storyline. Which, Lord knows, we don't need another new Joker storyline.
No,
but I was like, okay, so this is the point. This is the start of a new storyline. I've got 4 issues right here. I'm going to dive back into it with no expectations and just enjoy it. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Well, you know, that was, I mean, there's jumping on points, there's jumping off points. That was actually my jumping off point. You know, the end of that Joker story, I'm good. I don't like the characters that they've got in Batman. It doesn't feel like Batman anymore. It hasn't felt like Batman for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I still love Batman. I've got plenty of old Batman books that I haven't read yet that I can read. You know, I'll keep going with Detective. You know, and I'm good. Man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need, and that's where I found myself is I don't need to have everything forever. You know, I just need to have the things that I enjoy. And if I have the stuff that I enjoy, you know, I mean, I've got a store. I can bring the stuff back now.
Right.
I can sell this stuff while I still have this store, you know, better utilize that, you know. But that, you know, and trying to get things in order and trying to find stuff and going, you know, back and reading some other stuff. I've got enough stuff that sometimes I go on a superhero binge. Sometimes I go on everything but superheroes. You know, but instead of forcing myself to read everything that I see, I'm kind of, I mean, I guess, I don't even know the best way to do it. Like curating, I guess, my collection now. You know?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
I don't particularly like that word because nobody knows what it means anymore. You know, when Grant Morrison started on heavy metal, which what happened to heavy metal? That's gone.
Yeah.
You know, Grant Morrison started on that, and they were like, "Oh, yes, he's the curator." I'm like, "He's not a curator. He's an editor." There's a big difference between a curator and an editor. You know, and people use those words very strangely now. But I think in this instance, it's correct. I'm trying to curate this. I'm trying to purge myself of the stuff that I'm not enjoying. You know, and if I get overwhelmed with stuff, you know, like I'm really thinking about the X-Men stuff right now. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. You know, I'm not getting rid of the stuff I have. Never getting rid of any of those first volumes of any of that stuff. Never. You know, but it's like if it becomes a habit instead of a hobby, I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do is bring the fun back into it with me. And it's really it's helping. You know, I'm really, really, really liking it. Yep.
Exactly. More comics for books. So, so on the 30th, we're going to have this awesome event. They're going to be doing signings. And I honestly, if you have an ambition to be an artist, Sal is the person you want to look at your portfolio. I mean, not only does he have 40 something, almost 50 years in the industry, but he is a stellar talent.
Oh yeah,
like his portfolio
is incredibly good.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know, you go back and look on that run of Mark Spector Moon Knight.
Oh yeah,
that stuff is incredible, man. I mean, I don't even like really read Moon Knight, but I still have the first issue of that he signed for me years ago when it came out. And that's the only one I still have. But he did that Justice League Task Force, which was amazingly good.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That was great. But yeah, he's so damn good, and he's the one that he's one of the guys that you want to do.
But I think it goes a lot deeper than that. We're fortunate enough that we have some just amazing talent here in Utah. Travis is going to be here. If your ambition is cartoons and more of that Scotty Young type stuff, Travis
will be here. He's done tons of Warner Brothers and Disney work,
different like animation stuff. He does amazing animation cell type work. All of these Utah creators are just amazing, and storytellers. I keep drawing a blank on names today. It's crazy. But We Go Anywhere is one of my favorite indie books created.
That'll help you.
Michael Love,
there you go.
Michael
All right, there you go.
Here and like a fantastic writer, sci-fi writer. So
even though every time I hear his name, I think it's McLovin from Superbad, but that's okay. It's like, where's your ID, pal? You from Hawaii?
Evan grassrooted his own comic book.
Yep.
I mean, it's just amazing, and working with the kids and stuff like that. So, if you want some insight on how to create books or how to get into doing this type of stuff, just come on down and talk to these guys.
I mean, there's going to be 11 people here.
Yeah, that's huge.
And if you can't figure out something to connect with one of them, what the hell you're doing looking at comics in the first place?
And I know that we're going to have some people watching this that are comic creators from not in Utah. And we don't expect you to be here. It'd be cool, Marvin, if you showed up. If any of you want to send anything for us to put into the silent auction, an autographed picture, a book, a graphic novel, anything, shoot me a message. Most of you have my information, and we will make sure that is available.
An autographed picture, like a school picture.
Yeah,
I can get that. Yeah. I can do that. And I should find a little school picture of me from junior high and sign it, and then put it up for the auction, and then see how much that gets.
We can do Marvin wins most likely to become a comic creator.
There you go.
From his yearbook.
Yeah.
Sign that.
I still got some pictures that came with the frames. I can do that. But anyway, so yeah, it's going to be, that's going to be fun. And we got so much stuff coming up here. We got another sale coming up in a little bit. Free Comic Day. Chris and Andy will be here for Free Comic Day. We've got our 20th anniversary coming up in June.
Right.
That's going to be huge.
You keep teasing that it's going to be huge.
Okay, I'll throw out a name now.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, all right. World exclusive.
All right.
Teenie Howard will be here.
Really? Mm-hmm. Very nice.
So if you have Assassinistas, Black Crown, if you've got Catwoman, if you've got Harley Quinn, if you she's done so much stuff.
Yeah.
That Batman Catwoman crossover, she did an issue of that. We're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff up here, with their names on, everything like that, so you can come up and go, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And buy these books, get them out there. It's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
Living room for Greg. Are we kicking him out? I'm going to be laying down on drugs. I'm going to be recovering from surgery. Did you not hear that part? I was going to be floating around going, hey man.
So he pretty much doesn't care what happens.
Yeah, I don't care what happens. Yeah. As long as you don't play any Taylor Swift, man, things are pretty open. Yeah, I won't play her here because she's a government operative.
I'm just saying.
No, it's gonna be really great. We've got, again for the anniversary, we've got 8 or 9 people here. People coming in. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice.
But I mean, I figure, hey, man, 20 years, we got to do it, right?
That's a pretty big deal.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes, it
so
is.
the 30th is the fundraiser, Free Comic Book Day, first day,
May the 4th.
May the 4th.
Uh-huh.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It actually is.
Right
and
on.
they
So May
damn
the
well
4th.
better have a Star Wars book. Because
I
they don't,
haven't
that's
even-
just bad planning.
I haven't even seen the lineup yet.
I can't even remember it, and I ordered them like 3 months ago. I can't remember. I think
Yeah.
they got us. I'm sure they'll have a Star Wars book, and then they'll have X-Men books, and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, we'll have Chris and Andy here, signing stuff, and doing sketches and doing their stand-up routine and gymnastics. And
I am hoping that
I think
we
Chris
will
has double
have-
joined it. He can do it. Yeah.
I'm hoping that we'll have artwork out so we can get rolling on my comic book that I'm writing. So hopefully,
There you go. Nice.
we'll have something going by then.
Yeah.
And then 20th anniversary is
That will be June 22nd.
wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, the anniversary, I mean, like the actual anniversary of the store is actually in May, but I used to do that and Free Comic Day within
That's
a
a
week
lot.
of each other, and that's just too much. And that's too much.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it anymore.
So a lot of stuff going on in the store. So we got caught up on that. Now, I have not picked up. I came in and got my hold last week, but I haven't really done anything with a comic book in 4 or 5 months.
Mhm.
Certainly not reading. So what's new? What's going on that's really cool?
Oh my God. Like I said, I've been catching up on a lot of stuff. I read the last issue of Red Room, and that just ramped it up so much harder than anything else they've ever done. And if you want to compare it, it's like Red Room or Crossed. Yeah, Crossed is the mellow one.
Really?
Oh my God, man,
Wow.
it's so intense. Let's see. God, man, what's
A lot
been
of
going
buzz
on
around
here?
the Ultimates.
Yeah, I'm not reading the Ultimate stuff. I've heard it's really good.
That's what I'm hearing too.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Spider-Man is really,
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah, I've heard it's very, very good.
And the Black Panther was like one of those FOMO books, which we really haven't had in a long time. There hasn't been a Wednesday book that people are like, get it now, and then we're flipping it on eBay for $100.
Yeah.
But that Ultimate Black Panther #1 was just off the
that
chain.
went crazy. Man. God, what else? Let's see, what new stuff? Jill and the Killers, Oni book, really, really good, surprisingly good. Man, I was like, I don't know if I need this or not. But then I picked it up, flipped through the first issue, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty fun. This is good. Then it got a little dark. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I like that.
And then I laughed so hard at one page in the second issue. It was absolutely hilarious. It just killed me.
I'm just looking up real quick. I'm really curious because when did Ultimate Black Panther come out?
3 weeks ago, I think, maybe.
3. Yeah, 3.
No, number 2 just came out. So yeah, 4 weeks ago, I guess.
Let's see, where are we sitting? Well, it's still like $30 for a couple of the covers.
Oh.
Second print 6. Okay. I thought it would have died off quicker than that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Ultimate stuff people they underordered. They didn't have faith in it.
Really?
Because I mean the stuff that Hickman did before to the lead up to all the Ultimate stuff, sold like not great.
Right.
It was okay. And then like all of a sudden this stuff came out and everybody wanted it, and I think a lot of it was word of mouth about the story. It wasn't so much like, oh my God, this is crazy and blah blah blah. I think it was word of mouth about the story on this one actually, which is nice.
Kind of refreshing for sure.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean the story, again, I'm not reading it, but it sounds cool. I'm not invested in the Ultimate Universe.
Right.
I have no investment in it. The Marvel Universe, the original Marvel Universe, that's me as a kid. But I totally understand people that were like, oh yeah, I was 10 when Ultimate Spider-Man came out. This is my stuff, man. I love this stuff. Now there's a new one. I get that. I mean, I'd fully get it. And this seems like a really, really good spot to get in on. People have been really liking that. Let's see, what else did I read? Oh, this week I read Batman and Dylan Dog.
I saw that up there,
which I was not going to get, and then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, wow, I actually kind of like Dylan Dog maybe better than Batman right now, because and it's got. Did you ever see Cemetery Man?
No.
Really good movie. Really funny. Rupert Evans, I believe. Rupert, anyway. That was based on the Dylan Dog stuff. And Jack, God, I can't remember. Jack something Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah,
that was based on Dylan Dog. Essentially, they took a lot of inspiration with that. You can really see if you read Dylan Dog, you can see how it influenced like Criminal Macabre, the Cal McDonald stuff. I even feel like it maybe influenced some of the stuff that they put Constantine through, like in the 80s. It's just that monster detective, supernatural detective kind of guy, and he's got a weird sidekick named Groucho that looks just like Groucho Marx. And it's pretty cool. It was, it's not earth shaking. It's not like, oh my God, this is amazing. And this is the biggest book I've ever, this is so great, but I can't believe I'm even saying this with DC. It is a great value for the price. It's like a double-sized book, and I think it's $4.99.
Something that normally have a $10 price tag.
That would be a $10 book. Normally.
Okay.
Yes. So it's a really good value from DC. It's something that was written in Italy 6 years ago and has never been translated and released here. So they don't have all the baggage from, the Tom King Rebirth stuff and all the weird Catwoman romance and all that kind of stuff in it,
Right.
So it doesn't have a lot of baggage, and it's fun. He's doing detective work, which is always cool since
that's when Batman's at his best.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that was fun. There's been a lot of stuff that has really been cool that I've really enjoyed. The new What If stuff is really good. What If Aliens miniseries. Paul Reiser's co-writing it.
All right.
It's about his character not dying in Aliens. It's what if he lived.
Right.
The What If Venom, I was scared it was going to go down the same route that the Miles Morales one did, which when it just didn't make any sense. What If is supposed to be, like, okay, what if in this universe I grab this and take a drink? In another universe, what if I just do that and it tips over and it ruins $1,000 book? That's a what if. It's just if one little thing was changed, right? But this was just like, what if Miles Morales had Thor's hammer and lived in Asgard? Why?
Yeah.
There's no reason for that, man. Why would he do that? Why? And it was like, what if Miles Morales was in the Weapon X program and became Wolverine?
Yeah,
no, that doesn't make any sense because it was 100 years before he was born, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Made no sense.
Yeah, they don't make any sense, right? This one is pretty cool. It is a miniseries with Venom, so it's What If Venom. So it's kind of like the Miles thing, but with What If Venom,
right?
And it was really, really cool. She-Hulk's walking outside of the church where Eddie Brock gets possessed,
right.
And instead of walking by, she's like, hey, something's in there. What's going on? So she goes in, and Venom, the symbiote's like, oh, what's going on here? And bonds with her, and the symbiote's like, oh, this is way better. So
right.
Yeah, so in the first one, She-Hulk is possessed by him or bonded with him. The second one, it's Wolverine. And it's pretty cool because you would just be like, oh, okay, well, what if Venom was Wolverine? Okay, well, snick, boom, 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 right? But this, they go in more of the psychological stuff, like what the symbiote's doing to Wolverine as he's bonded. So, there's like a whole other scene that's all in his mind. So the symbiote's controlling his mind, and trying to distract him so he can use his claws and everything. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and I think it's a little more inventive than a lot of the stuff has been lately. There's not a lot, but there's a decent amount, I think, of staleness right now. With a lot of superhero stuff.
I think that's been going on for the past couple of months or couple of years.
Yeah. It has.
I almost feel like because they got a bunch of new talent in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got a bunch of new talent in and kind of directed them. This is what worked in the past, so do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
cheaper talent.
Yeah. And so they're not new talent anymore, and they're able to kind of expand and do a little bit more. And so maybe we will get something more creative from them.
Yeah. And, and I think, I always say this, but I still feel like the corporatization of comics has hurt a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're not going to be able to take a chance with stuff anymore. If you remember Miramax before they were bought out, when they were just a little independent or New Line, anything like that, when they were independent movie studios, like with Warner Brothers owning New Line, there's no way they would have been like, sure, Nightmare on Elm Street, let's do it.
Yeah.
No, and they'd be like, no, make another movie just like the last one that was successful. They would not give anything new a chance. It just wouldn't work, I don't think.
Right.
So I like to see that glimmer of hope, with the big two, I guess, when there is something new out there and something interesting. I like to see that. It makes me kind of fall back in love with this stuff again.
Well, it's kind of it's a horrible position to be in because you don't want to support the big corporation when they're making bilateral decisions that don't include the fans. Like you don't want to be on board with that, but they own the rights to all of our characters.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you want a Spider-Man book, you got to buy a Marvel comic.
Right.
And you're not getting a Spider-Man Marvel comic without getting Disney's Spider-Man.
Well, and that's a perfect segue. I'm going to introduce my new book, Man Spider Dude, on the 30th. It's going to be pretty great. I can't draw, and I've never written a comic, but I'm not a professional comic writer, and I'm not a professional artist, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're all going to really like it. I'll do some sketches and stuff.
So I am kind of curious. Have you seen Madam Web?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's not free yet. I'll see it when it's free.
It's not on Disney.
Man, I don't think so.
I don't know if it's coming to Disney.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if the streaming service is going to want that.
I don't know. Morbius was on. If it's Morbin time, it can be Webbin time. Madame Webb is what I like to call her. I prefer. Have you seen it? Did you?
I did. We went to the movie theater and we saw it.
That's why you've been gone for a couple months.
Yeah,
you've been recovering from that.
And it wasn't horrible. And I'm not one that really cares about the political behind the scenes stuff. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can watch a movie and kind of divorce myself from all that. But with Madam Web, it isn't the fact that they tried to make a statement.
Mm.
It's because I don't think probably because it wasn't written very well, but they didn't articulate whatever statement they were trying to make.
Sure.
But the problem I had was when the stars of the movie said that they know nothing about the source material.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're told not to learn about the source material.
What did Dakota Johnson say? That's her name, right? Dakota Johnson was like the extremely cool Spider-Man or something like that. When they asked her to name a Spider-Man movie and she couldn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Jesus, man! You see the Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I mean, there's nothing against her. I love Dakota Johnson. I could watch 50 Shades of whatever she's in.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
She's phenomenal.
I don't know if you love her acting.
I think she's pretty good.
Okay.
She's fair.
You just want to watch 50 Shades of Grey again, don't you?
Whatever she's in.
Whatever position she happens to be in, you would support.
But it wasn't, I mean, if it wasn't an established character like that, it wouldn't have been that bad of a movie.
But, you know, I mean, that's always my thing, though. It's like, we were talking about this earlier, you know, when you were said they're doing Secret Wars? They're reprinting Secret Wars? I'm like, yeah, how come? Because Secret Wars is going to be a thing. It's going to be a movie. But not based on the comic, right? No, not really.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I was saying, they've got storyboards, they've got plots, they've got basic dialogue for everything. Everything. All they got to do is bring somebody in to polish the dialogue up, because, you know, dialogue from 30 years ago is not going to sound very good now.
Right.
Just like we're going to sound like dipshits in, you know, another 20 minutes in the future.
And it's simplistic.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's pretty simplistic. You know, it's pretty basic. It's like, okay, you know, it's Amazon Basics crossover, you know. But the thing is it's like, you know, you've got to have something, I feel, close to that source material.
Right.
You know, and that's why, like, I think that's why anime does so well. Because anime and manga, they're just like, they're right there together.
Yes.
They're right there. I'm making a gesture. I can't. They're just like this. They're right there together, you know. Sorry if you're in England. I meant you know, but it's like, yeah, they take that source material, they literally animate what that material is, and like 90% of that, like, even if you go to live action stuff like Uzumaki, Battle Royale, stuff like that, that is almost exactly, you know, Battle Royale was cut down because it was just a movie. It was a 1.5 hour movie or whatever. It was cut down, but I mean, it had the same story beats. It had the same everything. They couldn't give all that time to the characters. Uzumaki Spiral was crazy weird, but it was pretty similar to the manga. Civil War had different characters, different situations, different different scenes, different everything.
Right.
You know, Secret Invasion was completely different.
Well, a great example is Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't follow the Infinity Wars storyline.
Right.
They stayed just close enough to it, and just close enough to the original characters, the original story, the original everything, that it made that entertaining. And
but you know what they didn't do?
Interested in.
They didn't call it Avengers Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
And that was fine. It was great, man, because it was based and is inspired by that.
Right.
You know,
but Secret Wars is actually based on, and they did this with Secret Invasion too. Secret Invasion was not the Secret Invasion storyline from the comic book.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It doesn't make any sense. They got these great stories. It's just like the Ben Affleck Batman thing. I mean, Ben Affleck would have been the ultimate Batman to do Dark Knight Returns. That would, if they would have went panel for panel, Dark Knight Returns, that would have been an amazing movie.
He drinks too much. He's grumpy. He's pissy.
That would have been great.
You know, he's kind of a sex pest. You know, all that stuff. And because Batman was a dick in that. You know, he was a grumpy old bastard. You know. But yeah, I feel like they should be doing more of that. And if they're not gonna do that, then don't call it that.
Right.
Because all it does is confuses people. You know, because somebody wants to come in, they want to, you know, if I haven't talked to anybody that likes Secret Invasion yet, but, you know, and if somebody would watch Secret Invasion, they're like, oh, that's cool, and I want to read the comic. You know, they will come in and go, I would like to read the Secret Invasion comic, please. And they'll go up and they'll grab it and they'll be like, this doesn't have anything to do with that. Right. But then they release a new series called Secret Invasion with the same name. That's a totally different story. That is closer at least aligned with the TV show. So all you're doing is confusing people, man. You know, you've had Secret Wars 2. You've had another Secret Wars. You had Secret Wars Battle World. You've got Secret and right now they're doing Secret Wars Battle World and reprinting the original Secret Wars.
Well, I think,
and they're nothing alike.
Battle World is what the movie's supposed to be based on, I think.
Yes,
I don't.
But it's the second Battle World that they've put out.
Right.
You know, and that's the problem. Is it's really confusing to people. You know, I mean, I think, you know what would help is if they put on the screen in the opening credits, based on the 2022 Secret Invasion storyline or series, if they put on here based on Secret War, 2024 Secret Wars Battle World, if they put that on there, people would pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And I think that would really help. And, and instead of putting out 10 different Secret Wars books and saying, the book that inspired the movie, which is not, you put a trade of that series, whatever it is, Battle World, whatever it is, and then you put the movie poster on the front of it.
Yeah.
Now, that way you know what the hell you're getting. And it's an easier in the door for a new reader. And I think that's where my frustration lies is, I mean, you can call it Civil War, you can call it whatever you want, but just make sure it corresponds to something that somebody can pick up and read. Let's get people in a little easier. And I feel like we're having a little bit of a tough time now getting people, new readers in. Oh, yeah. It's not new reader friendly. And instead of working on that and trying to get new people in, they're just making it more complicated.
Well, and what they've done is they've actually made it not friendly for old readers.
Yeah, that's true.
Because now I don't want to. I followed Spider-Man from when I was 8 years old to my late 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And that character was always the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come out with all these movies
mm-hmm.
that change who that character is, who Peter Parker is.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't recognize Peter Parker in any of these books.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to read it.
Yeah.
I don't recognize it.
Right.
I mean,
that makes sense.
And I'm interested in Miles.
Mm-hmm.
So it isn't not wanting change, because I'm okay with Miles. I enjoy the Miles Morales stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've done a good job with Miles.
Yeah.
But they changed Peter Parker, fundamentally changed Peter Parker. A lot
they
of
did.
characters
Yeah,
they have.
A lot. Yeah, you're right. And I mean, change is good. Progression in the character is good.
But to me, it's not progression.
But not progression. A lot of the time, it's not.
You no longer have the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he's Tony Stark Jr.
Well, and that's kind of my complaint with Batman.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You don't have the detective anymore. He's just Tony Stark now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got his Bat family, which is the Avengers, essentially. He's got suits that can do anything. He's in space. He's fighting aliens. He's on satellites. It's like, he's got all sorts of weird technology going on, and some of that has always been a part of him. But he never used it like Iron Man did. Now he's using it like that.
Yeah.
And it's like it changes who that character is, and that's one of the reasons that I, again, will never get rid of my original stuff. I'll never do it, man, because I love that stuff so much. And even though the Batman Dylan Dog, again, it's not the best book I've read all year, and we're only in March, I guess, but it's not the best book I've read. But what it is more, it's more a Batman feel, and I feel, I think a lot of people write Batman, they don't have a feel for the character.
Yes, I would agree. Batman has to be dark and gothic, and he has to be a detective. Batman's not a superhero.
No, he's not.
There's no superpowers.
No.
he's. I mean, and I love Superman, but that's Superman's joint.
Yeah.
Like, let Superman be the superhero.
Right. Yeah.
Batman's a cop in a costume.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. He's a non-lethal Punisher.
He's a beat cop
Basically.
in a costume.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I really like that. The when they go back to who that central character is. And that's it's kind of the stuff that I that's kind of when I started getting away with from Batman and not enjoying it much anymore.
Well, they did. There was a while there that Detective was doing really good, and they were bringing back the detective stuff.
And I got to catch up on that.
It was really, really good. And Nightwing, and this is what I think is funny. Nightwing has become much more popular once he became a detective and started.
Yeah,
like he's Batman now.
Nightwing is more Batman than Batman
is. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I quit reading Batman. I found my cutoff point, and I'm happy with that. And I don't regret it at all. And I think if you don't regret it, then you're in good shape.
Yeah.
And if you regret it, you're like, shit, maybe I didn't do this right. But I'm still getting Nightwing. I never thought there was a day where I buy Nightwing and not Batman.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't buy shit. I just take it home, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, I like to have that feel of that detective, the noir, the gothic, whatever. And I think that's where that character fits. And that's really, really, really cool.
What really I'm curious about, the Justice League stuff failed, I think, because I didn't give Batman a chance to be Batman.
Yeah.
I think that's
and there was too much of it.
I think that's where Justice League failed. That
you mean the movie or the comic?
The movie. The movie.
Yeah.
And of course, Flash is going around doing Flash stuff and really needs to be in jail.
He's
but
not
anyway,
Flash. He's flashing.
Anyway,
but
so they're deciding to reboot that. The only thing DC wise that's really been a hit was that Rob Pattinson movie, which I was very hesitant about until I saw it.
You guys are close.
Huh?
Rob. You guys are close then. I call him Robert, but yeah. Who knows?
But
Bobby.
That
P.
was an excellent movie.
It's a great movie
because he was a detective. He was Batman.
Yeah, he was Batman.
And it isn't because he was such a great actor. I mean, he is a phenomenal actor.
I think I've gotten a lot more more respect for his acting since then.
It was extremely well written.
It was. And it was very well directed.
They knew their source material. Somebody in that writer's room is a Batman fan.
Yeah, and you can tell. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the difference. Nobody in Madame Web's writing room had ever heard of a comic book, let alone was a fan of the source material.
I'll bet they called her Madame Web in the writer's room. Who's this Madame lady we're doing?
And my thing is, if I go to a movie, and this happens a lot lately, if I go to a movie and come out of that movie saying, this is what I would have done to make it better, then it was not written. Yeah. Because I'm not a film writer by any stretch, but I could have made Madame Web a billion times better.
But you are going to debut your new movie on the 30th, Madame Web.
Madame Web.
Along with my man spider dude. Yeah, so I mean, it's there's when you get that, there's almost kind of a. I mean, the phrase is sea of change, but I can feel some undercurrents. I'll stick with that analogy. I can feel some undercurrents of things changing again.
Yeah.
And if Disney didn't own Marvel, I think they'd be in the same place right now that they were when they brought Bendis on to do the Ultimate stuff. Where they were just like, welcome in, all that stuff right there. That's all stuff we're selling right now. So go and write Spider-Man. What should I do? We don't care.
Yeah.
And I feel like they would be in that position right now because their comic sales have they haven't taken a dive, but they've just been steadily doing this, and that is not even close to what I've seen with DC.
Yeah, I think we're getting much closer to both of the big two. just licensing it out to somebody and letting them go to town.
I mean, I wouldn't totally be surprised, man.
Right.
You know, or
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean,
we're already kind of seeing it with the all ages stuff going to Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite's got some talent over there, and they're doing good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a guy, there's an artist, John Carter. Oh man, it's supposed to be a positive conversation. I'm sorry, we're trying to bring it up. No, they definitely have some talent over there. Dark Horse has got a lot of cool stuff going on right now too.
Yeah.
I haven't read any of the distillery stuff. I don't love the business model of it, but Tinion's got one coming out, or Tinian, or Tiny Onion, or Shania Twain, whatever the hell his name is. I don't know. He's got a cool looking one coming out that I'm gonna try. I wish they would just put stuff in one format though. I wish they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Magazine and oversized magazine and undersized magazine and
I noticed that
golden age and silver age and regular age. There's
like all over the place.
It is all over the place. Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, Mandrake Root, wrote a comic.
Nice.
And it doesn't fit in anything. They literally send it like in a bag because it won't even fit in a magazine bag. It won't fit in a magazine box. I don't know where the hell you're supposed to keep this thing. It's shorter and wider than a magazine.
It's Bruce Dickinson. Do whatever the hell he wants.
That's true. Well, yeah, that's true. And if you don't like it, he'll fly over there and kick your ass.
Yeah.
With a sword. Sword fight, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
But I did enjoy the Marvels. I thought the Marvels was really good.
Still haven't seen it. I need to see it.
I think they did Monica as well as they were going to.
Okay.
Who is my favorite Miss Marvel.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Captain Marvel. My favorite Photon.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, very cool stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so just to recap, the 30th, Tim Odlin, we've got his benefit going on.
Yep.
We got some really cool stuff coming in for that. Come down and meet the comic artists, the creators, listen to some stories, get some stuff signed. There'll be books auctioned off. You're not having a sale that day.
Not that day.
Yeah.
We'll have another sale soon. A little while.
So a lot of stuff. And then Free Comic Book Day is on May the 4th. And then 20th anniversary coming up, and you'll hear more about those events.
Yep.
We will highlight those as we get more information. So,
yep.
A lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
So until next time, if you have any comments or any subjects you'd like us to cover, of course, Greg, 20 years in the business, professionally buying and selling funny papers.
Yeah, and I almost know what I'm doing.
If you have any questions, shoot us a message, and we'll be glad to address that on the show.
Yeah.
And
thanks for tuning in, everybody.
We will be here every Thursday at 3:30.
Yep.
Whether you show up or not, so you might as well
show up.
Might as well show up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified when we drop a new episode. And until next time,
when we drop a new episode, be here to pick it up. Thanks for tuning into the Power Hour.
All right, see you later, traders.